We need to talk about Facebook stock. Facebook just unveiled some very exciting news, a VR meeting app called Horizon Workrooms. Now, we've talked about Facebook Oculus in the past and how big of a potential market that this whole metaverse and virtual reality stuff is going to become over the next few years. And this just goes to show you how serious Facebook is about it. Just going to hit on some key points here, but first I want to start with Mark Zuckerberg just said 5 years from now, if we do our job well here, people will think about us primarily as a metaverse company. So that just goes to show you how serious this company is right now. They're a social media company. They make billions in advertising revenue, but they see an even bigger future in this whole metaverse thing. So what is this Horizon Workrooms? It's a virtual reality for work application that it says will help reimagine remote collaboration. So just when you thought remote work was done, right? No, it's here to stay. The free app uses Facebook's Oculus VR headsets to present a virtual meeting room where avatars representing meeting participants can use hand gestures and see screens and keyboards. So this looks like some real life The Sims type stuff. I'll show you guys the video in a second, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about Facebook stock and why I think the future is very bright for this company, and it's probably the most undervalued of all the FAMGA stocks. Workrooms bring some of our best new technologies together for the first time into one experience on Quest 2, the company says. Using features like mixed reality desk and keyboard tracking, hand tracking, remote desktop streaming, video conferencing integration, spatial audio, and the new Oculus avatars, we've created a different kind of productivity experience. So the Oculus Quest 2 headset starts at $299. So this has been a relatively small segment of Facebook's overall business, but it's clear where they're going to be putting their focus moving forward. And the fact that it's going to be a free app is very interesting, but you obviously need to buy this headset. So let's watch the video unveil real quick.
The idea is like you go in wherever you are, you can have your perfect setup, you can have all your different monitors. People can stop in and collaborate quickly, but it's really great for kind of focused work, and that will get better over time. The second area is around collaboration, which is really what this is focused on, which is the notion that like we shouldn't really have to physically be together to feel present or collaborate or brainstorm. I think video conferencing has taken us pretty far, but I don't know. I mean, I can just tell you that as we start planning to go back into the office. I'm not super excited about continuing to have just this, have most meetings be over video. And what we're trying to move towards is a world where a lot of what we do is in here, and the people who can't be in here can be on video. So people can feel present that way if people aren't together in person physically. So
some very interesting stuff to unpack here. It looks a little weird. It obviously will take a little getting used to, but it makes sense. These me-type avatar things have been growing in popularity over the last decade immensely. I mean, you already see it. Things like Snapchat, creating these virtual avatars. We're heading into the metaverse. So this is really happening. And I have to emphasize again that he said 5 years from now, if they do this right, Facebook will be known as the metaverse company. I mean, that is quite a statement. And if you're bullish on the metaverse, Facebook is probably a good place to look right now. Now, of all the FANG or FAMGA stocks, you could argue Facebook is probably the most undervalued. I mean, they have a PE ratio of around 23 right now. Their daily active users, almost 2 billion, and it just keeps increasing every quarter. Monthly active users, almost 3 billion. This company brings in an insane amount of revenue, $30 billion in Q2. And revenue keeps increasing. They probably have one of the strongest balance sheets of all S&P 500 companies. Their revenue segments are mostly made up of, they get their advertising revenue. That brings in around $28.5 billion and $500 million payments and other. It'll be interesting to see how that continues to increase with things like Facebook Marketplace, where they'll take a small cut. That's definitely something that's growing in popularity, and I could see, leading to the downfall of the traditionals like eBay, where Facebook is just much easier, user-friendly experience I've found. So this is a company that's clearly just going to keep innovating, and this metaverse stuff is a pretty radical new idea. I mean, it makes sense that this is only going to continue to take off. This is a company with great financials, a relatively low PE ratio at 23 compared to the broad market. PE ratio of the S&P 500 has actually come down quite a bit. It's down to around 34 right now, so Facebook is still less than that at a PE of 23. And this is funny looking, but you know, it makes sense. I mean, it'll make it a lot easier for everyone to collaborate with all these boards around and everyone able to see the same thing, not having Zoom fatigue, just staring at each other at all times. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, I think. So, definitely something to keep tabs on, and I will be following this closely. So, if you enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you next time.